Yes, we're back here on Girl Talk. We are here with Michelle Taylor at Birdie James. We love it here. Our friend Brody Kenneweg is also here from Haskins & Company. And it's kind of an interesting day for me, and I think for all three of us. We're all involved in a project this year we wanted to take the opportunity to talk about. Michelle, I'm going to let you take the lead.
So we're all involved with NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And we have an upcoming gala coming up February 16th at Sonesta. And so we just wanted to share more information on that.
And really, it's really a lot more about that, Brody. The three of us were talking before about kind of weaving NAMI and the philosophy into the show and why we're even bringing it up. There are events all the time, but I think National Alliance for Mental Illness is something that is coming to the front and center right now as far as people being curious about medical illnesses and psychological illnesses. Are they the same thing? You've got a point out.
Right, and I think it's super important when weaving it into the community, just weaving it into our everyday conversation and making it something we talk about like any other illness and bringing more light and awareness to it, especially in our community.
Right, and you know what's interesting? I was out kind of pounding the pavement for silent auction items, which we're always asked for as business owners, and so I feel really kind of keenly aware of that when I walk into someone else's establishment and asking that for something for it, but it is for fundraising. And so one of the things I said to the ladies at Expression was, consider a wine night. What is a wine night for women? It's an opportunity to get together with like-minded people and share a little bit of yourself. Usually you're kind of crabbing about your husband or something that's stressful. And so not to minimize that, but to say, okay, well, that's really, we've been doing this, but we've had to mask it. Let's bring it to the forefront and have those conversations really out in the open now.
Don't you find that, at least for me, being a psychologist, it's really easy when you mention depression, anxiety, some other things, all at once it opens the door to discussion. And although they are health issues, they are issues like everybody else has, whether it's high blood pressure, diabetes, depression.
Yes.
Well, it's one of those things I feel like in conversation, if we do talk about something like, oh, my knee's been bothering me, oh, you need to go see somebody about that. It's one of those things, it's the same conversations, being able to say openly to friends, I am struggling with this, or my daughter's struggling with that. And
typically people will come out and support that, and we'll have some sort of commonality or experience that they can validate you in that.
And NAMI has really shifted a lot. It used to be an organization that worked a lot with severe mental illness, and now they've sort of, and you guys are both on the board, so they've shifted philosophies.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to normalize mental illness in a way now that allows people to kind of get on board and have a community discussion.
Correct.
And opening it up to things where more people have some connection to it versus just of severe mental illness versus everyone has a connection to depression or anxiety.
Or knows someone that's experienced
and being able to get the support of the community behind.
We were talking about kids.
Yes.
And one of the things for kids is if we're aware of signs and symptoms and actions, then, and there's no stigma behind it. Then we can take that forward and really do programs on prevention and awareness, teachers, friends. Sometimes you see things in your kids and other kids that
you don't know. There's no fallback versus another medical diagnosis. If you see your friend's child, you might say, hey, are you concerned? Being able to say the same thing. I'm concerned about your daughter.
Exactly.
She's really anxiety-ridden, and I'm worried about her. That right now tends to be very damaging to someone versus it sounding like a compliment or a help.
And the cool thing, the three of us talk about this all the time. It's kind of the fun stuff that we talk about because it's 100% treatable. And I think there's no reason for anyone anymore to suffer or be in pain because there are so many ways to treat.
And that's why prevention's so important too, because we do know that the earlier that we catch the signs and the symptoms, the better the prognosis. And so the longer those things go without someone noticing them, it's more difficult for that person. That person is kind of suffering.
The same as any illness, And that's just the thing we all need to
You know, sometimes if your child's diagnosed with diabetes, people bring you casseroles because they want to make sure that you're supported during that time of diagnosis. But rarely does that happen if your child's diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, anxiety, or depression. And the funny part is they're no different.
No, you're just as concerned for your child.
So pitching the event really quickly, let's talk a little bit about when, where, how, where people can get tickets, etc.
Go ahead.
Tickets are going to be available online. We have an Eventbrite site, and NAMI has its own Facebook page, which is probably the easiest place to access everything. It's February 16th at the Sonesta.
That's going
to be a party.
It's going to be a party.
Yes.
It's going to be a party with a purpose because we've got some pretty incredible speakers.
You know, and Crush Entertainment is putting on a party. We all know that Josh and Julia know how to throw a party, and Hilton Head loves a party. So Carmine's Foundation and Remax are our major partners for the event. So thank you to them. It's amazing.
they are pretty,
We're so thrilled for them to be a part of it. And it's really going to be amazing. Yeah.
Well, there are going to be some unexpected things that are going to happen that I think make it even more fun for everyone. And I would encourage anyone, and this is, you know, I've got a couple of not young, little bitty, but like 12-year-olds are going to come because I think it's a really good introduction for them to see some of the good that can be done with fundraising. So I'm really excited about all that.
Yeah.
Michelle, Brody, it's really great to see you all. You all look so beautiful today, too.
Thank you.
I know we're all decked out today. All right. Thank you all for joining us here on Girl Talk. Please have a wonderful week. Bye-bye now.